everybody, and welcome once again to It's a Kind of Magic. Now, before I say anything further, I would like to make use of this opportunity to say thank you to the person who invented the number 0. Thank you for nothing. The show obviously is about magic, magical people, and today, a mind reader. Yes, a mind reader, so be careful. We actually know what you're thinking at the moment. We're sitting onto your couch next to your mother-in-law. Be careful, you have been warned. So what's a mind reader or a mentalist? It's someone who can read minds and also predict the future. No, not a fortune teller. There's a big difference. I know, because when I was younger, I always wanted to become a fortune teller. But I never saw a future in it. Okay, don't worry about the jokes today. So a mind reader is someone who can obviously read your mind, but also he can do predictions. He can write something on a piece of paper, seal it in an envelope, and then tomorrow morning when you open up the newspaper, the headline in the newspaper is the same thing he wrote down on the paper. Speaking about a newspaper, there's something I don't understand, and maybe you guys can help me with it. I have a question. When you open up the newspaper, in the back, in the small section, there's a space where they put all the newborn babies. Now, my question is, how do they get the babies to get born in alphabetical order? That's actually quite amazing. I know. So back to the show today. I actually had someone walked up to me in the supermarket a few days ago, and they asked me, so is it possible for me to go to a casino and actually cheat and use my magic at the table? Now, first of all, I've been banned at all casinos worldwide. And I'll show you why in a second. Because what happened was, in the past, I would go into a casino and I would win lots of money and I can buy myself all sorts of things. I once bought myself some Velcro. I was such a rip-off. So I'm going to ask the camera to go down on the table now, and I'll show you guys the reason why I've been banned from all casinos worldwide. Now, when you check on the table, you'll see I've got a few poker chips over here. 3 of them are black poker chips, and 3 of them are red poker chips. Obviously, they aren't real poker chips. It's just for explanations. Right, back on the table, I'm going to stack these poker chips, and I'll show you exactly what happens normally at a casino. So that's poker chip number 1. This is poker chip number 2. And this is poker chip number 3. 2 red and 1 black. Now, I'm going to do the same thing on my left-hand side. Now, just so by the way, this hand measures 9 inches from there to there. 9 inches. 3 more, this would be a foot. See, the show is educational. Oh yeah, someone also asked me the other day, how many bones do I think is in my hand? It's about a handful. You agree? Wonderful. Back to the trick. So I'm going to stack the poker chips in the left hand, 2 black, 1 right. In the right hand, 2 red and 1 black. If I just shake my hands like this, they jump all the way back. I know, it's magic. Let me do it again. I'll remove 2. So now I've got 1 red and 1 black. I'll do the same move, and you know exactly what to expect. They jump back again. Wow, it's magic, I know. Watch carefully. I'll remove 2, and they'll do the same thing. Now you guys know what to expect. This time, I'll just make it a little bit easier for you. This is the final move. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. It jumps all the way from there to there. And this is the reason why I've been banned from all casinos. So unfortunately, I can't help you, but I hope you enjoy that little bit of entertainment. Right, it's time for me to introduce my guest, the mind reader, the mentalist. Let's see if he can read my mind. We have to wait and see. Okay, it's that time of the show, and it's a proud moment where I can actually say, for the first time ever, we have a real mind reader, mentalist on the show. Put your hands together for Mr. Larry Soffer. Larry, how are you?
Well, and you?
I'm glad. So guys, we think if he reads my mind, it's going to be a little bit weird. What do you say?
I think so. I think it's probably better with somebody who has never seen anything like this before.
Okay, cool. So let me see. One of the camera crew maybe. Are you busy? Oh, no, you're not busy? No? Oh, fantastic. Okay. Okay, but I think you must take that off, and then you can read a mind. It's safe?
Yeah, totally. I mean, if that's okay with you.
Okay, enjoy. I'll see you a little bit later. Be safe, eh?
Thank you.
Great.
I need it.
Well, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Larry.
Can I call you Connie?
Yeah, sure.
Great. Well, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
And thanks. And we're going to do something really cool here today together.
Cool.
Something that you've probably never experienced before. You've never seen a mentalist or experienced
No.
mind reading before.
No.
Okay, great. So don't worry. I'm not going to expose your deep, dark
Never
secrets. Okay. But we're going to get into some light thoughts. Okay.
Cool.
So first of all, just so everybody knows, I haven't got you to write down anything anywhere.
No.
We've never met before.
Nope.
There's I didn't tell you what to think of. You haven't told me what to think of. Nothing like
Nothing
that, right?
like that.
Okay, cool. So if I could get into your mind right now and see what you're thinking, this would be
Word.
crazy, right?
Okay, let's
Okay,
go.
well let's try.
Go,
Let's try.
go.
So I want you to imagine going onto Google right now,
Mhm.
and I want you to imagine searching for a celebrity just in your mind.
Okay.
Great. I want you to imagine scrolling down through different articles,
Uh-huh.
and as you're scrolling, you see a very interesting article. You click into it in your mind.
Uh-huh.
And I want you to imagine reading out through that article and just see certain words jumping out at you. And I want you to commit to a certain word now.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, good. Just look at me. I want you to think of the first letter of your word. And just in your mind, can you think of maybe a color or a month or a day that begins with that letter?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
look at me. Color, month, day. Color, month. It's a color, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. I want you to go to the second letter of that color,
Uh-huh.
and I want you to think of, can you think of like a day or a month or maybe a holiday time of year or something like that? Don't tell me, just
okay.
think it. You got something?
Yeah.
Day, month, holiday, yes?
Yeah.
Just go to just like imagine that holiday in your mind, go to the middle of the holiday, just imagine the few letters around there. You're looking at a T right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Look at me, touch my hand. Easter? And did you think of the
Are
color?
you kidding me?
And you thought of a color before, right? That was red?
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah, definitely.
And before you thought of that color, you thought of a celebrity, right?
Yeah.
And there's no way that I could know what your celebrity
way.
is.
No way.
Okay, I'm getting that you wanted to think of like an international celebrity, but then you changed your mind. You changed your mind to somebody more local.
Yeah.
And when I said somebody right now, you thought it's not quite somebody, it's more like a group. Or is it a person?
It's a person.
Is it a person?
It's
Did
one
you
person.
almost think of a group?
No.
Okay, I don't know why I'm getting that. Just imagine it in your mind and say it over and over like black coffee. Black coffee.
No way. I'm sorry, what's saying what? Oh my word.
Now, before you thought of black coffee, what's even crazier
What?
is a friend popped through your mind, right?
Yeah.
You wanted to think like a family member coming
way.
through. I think you almost thought of your mom like momentarily,
No
and then you changed your
way.
mind and you thought of this friend, but it was like a fleeting thought, wasn't it? As you were about to think of the celebrity, is that right?
I give up. Like literally everything that was going on in my mind. Are you kidding me?
Yes. Is this like a colleague or something that you almost thought of?
I did. It was a colleague, yeah.
This is somebody older than you, right? Is this
Yeah.
your boss?
No.
Or is it like somebody senior?
You can say.
I'm getting that this person has a really good sense of humor and he likes teasing you a lot.
Yeah,
You guys have like
yeah.
a lot of fun and he makes jokes with you all day. And you also tease him sometimes,
I do.
yes?
How do you even know it's a him? Let's just start there.
It is definitely a male, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a male.
I mean, there's no way that I could know
you
this
don't
person's
even know
name.
the people here. You don't even know people here.
So if I could get his name from your mind right now, this would be insane, right?
It would be.
So I want you to imagine him over here in your mind. Never say anything out loud. Just in your mind, you're going to say hello, and then you're going to say his name. You ready? So you'd say hello. Andrew? Andrew Bennett?
Andrew Bennett?
Yes!
What? And he's not even here. That's why I chose his name, actually, because he's not here. Because then he would have made to wait. Because I'm like, okay, cool, are you kidding me? Like, I'm blown away, guys. I've got nothing else to say.
Well, thank you,
Kudos,
Connie.
man. Kudos.
Thank you very much, guys.
Well, guys, that was really amazing. Real life mind reading on the show for the first time. Fantastic. Larry, well done.
Thanks, Richard.
Before
Thank
I ask you difficult questions, how many times per day do you get the following? What's the lotto numbers? Can you read my mind? How old am I? Blah, 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 blah. And is it still funny? And what you can do is, you can put it on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being not funny and 10 being funny. And you can't say 5. I read your mind.
Wow. Okay. So 1 being not funny and 10 being funny. Wow. Okay. Let's make it a 6 because it's funny that everybody says it all the time.
Okay, he brought his own questions along to my show. That's fantastic. No, I like it. Thank you, Larry. so what's the difference between a magician and a mentalist? Let's start there.
Well, a magician does sleight of hand and illusion. So magician, illusionist, very similar kind of thing. You know, you get David Copperfield and so on. And then a mentalist is somebody who does mind reading.
Okay.
So mind reading, metal bending, thought prediction, all kinds of things like that. So I think that mentalism kind of it expands very, very far. So like for instance, you can imagine that anything that a superhero could do, a mentalist would do.
Oh,
That's at least how I would imagine it. So you can imagine like Magneto, or you can imagine a storm bringing up the clouds and things like that. I think that mentalism goes more into that kind of arena as well than just pure mind reading and mentalism. So that's why I also do metal bending, and I even go on radio and I make people spoons and forks bend in their own homes across the telephone.
So tell me then, obviously you started off as a normal magician and went over to a mentalist, or?
Yes.
And why? Was it just more appealing for you, the mentalist side?
I actually found out that I had these abilities since I was a kid. What happened one day is that my mom, she really upset me, and I didn't touch her, but I got so upset, and I just went like this, and she flung up against the wall, and she went up the wall, and her head's... No, I'm just kidding. So...
And cut the camera, please. But you had me there for a second.
For a second.
Tell me more.
So no, I always loved magic. I believed in the spiritual aspect of life. I got my first magic set from my grandparents at the age of 4. I went to the College of Magic at the age of 13, where I studied a lot of sleight of hand and illusion and so on. And then I got more into mentalism as I got into my later high school years, and when I left high school, because I found that kind of magic, if you want to call it that, the mentalism really touches people in a special place in their heart. They go, wow, that's not a trick, that's not sleight of hand, what is that? And it kind of inspires them to believe that anything is possible, and that's my whole purpose, is to inspire people to believe that the impossible is possible.
Cool. So for those of people who don't know you at all, let's go back to the complete beginning. When you were born, where you were born, which school that you go to, all those little details.
I was born in Tableview. That's the first few years of my life where I grew up, and then moved to Sea Point and Milnerton. I stay in Milnerton at the moment. And like I said, I went to the College of Magic at the age of 13. I studied at the college throughout my high school, my final high school years. And obviously it was once a week and it was after hours. And I started working at the age of 13. So I started doing kids shows and making balloons at festivals since the age of 13. I did my first corporate gig at the age of 16. And at the age of 23, I became the youngest South African magician and mentalist to ever perform at the world famous Magic Castle in Hollywood, and the only one to be awarded a membership.
Okay, now speaking about the Magic Castle, and you don't have to give us all the information because I know the story a little bit, but just to inspire a few other people, just briefly tell us the story, what happened with that, because that's an amazing story, which you told me a few months ago. If you don't mind sharing that with us.
Okay, cool. It's kind of like a long story, but
just in a short version.
I'll try and shorten it as much as I can. So at the age of 23, I was invited to perform at the world famous Magic Castle in Hollywood. I had no idea how I was going to get there because I needed finances for plane tickets and for accommodation and so on, and I was just building up my career. I basically gave up because my manager at that time, we don't particularly work together anymore, but at that time she was looking for sponsorship and she couldn't find any sponsorship, and so we gave up. So 2 weeks before the time, I got this inspiration within me. I decided that I am going to America, and I just felt it. I knew it. And one of my clients, his name's Cliff Warren, he owned a company called Blue Ink Investments, and now he owns a company called Skybound Capital. And he came out to me at one of his events at his home in Constantia, and he says to me, "So what's new in the world of the magic of Larry Soffer?" So I said, "Well, I'm looking to get to Hollywood. We're looking for sponsorship, but at the moment we have no idea how we're going to get there." So he says, "Well, why don't you come and see me in my office on Monday, and I'll see who I can connect you with." So my manager of that time, she wrote up a nice presentational piece that he had a look at, like a whole promotional piece to say what the company would get, who would sponsor us, what we would give them back in return, and so on. So he looked at this and he was like, "Wow, this is great. So how much is it that you needed?" So I said 20,000 Rand for the plane tickets. He takes out his checkbook, he writes out a 20 grand check, and he says, "Here you go, I don't want anything in return."
Yeah.
And we were like, no, we'll give you something back in return. We can't just give you nothing, we have to put you onto a website, put you onto our newsletter, or whatever it is, however we can give back, give you free shows in exchange, He says, "No, honestly, I don't want anything in return." So we went out and we started jumping up and down like little children, and we went to go and book our plane tickets. And when we got there, the lady at the travel agency said, "Sorry, so you can't travel to America." My manager could, because she had a 10-year visa, but I didn't have a 10-year visa. And so they said, "Sorry, you can't go to America because you don't have a visa." So I ended up phoning the American embassy, and I said to the lady on the line, "I need to book an appointment." And she said, "Sorry, sir, there's only 28 days in February, and the only first available appointment is on the 1st of March, and because you need to leave on the 3rd of March, you will never get your visa in time." I said, no, you don't understand. I'm going to America. You just got to tell me how I'm going to get there, not how I'm not going to get there. So she was a little bit shocked. She looked on a computer system and she saw that there was an available appointment on the 27th. And obviously I had confirmed everything with everybody, with the flights and everything like that. And I was hoping that this was going to work. She said, sorry, on the 28th was the appointment. So I had to fly up on the 27th, had my appointment on the morning of the 28th of Feb. And they said, sorry, so you're not guaranteed that you're going to get your visa in time because it takes 3 to 4 days to process and we still have to courier it down to you. So they did approve it for a month. And I said, no, I believe in you. You're going to make it happen. I'll put it on speed courier. They said, you're going to have to put it on speed courier. Anyway, on the morning of the 3rd, I remained positive. Our bags were packed. We were ready to go to the airport, but I hadn't received my visa yet. So my manager called up the DHL van and he said, I'm 5 minutes away. He delivered the visa, flew to America, and I became the youngest South African magician and mentalist to perform there.
I'm sweating for your part.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
For those of you who don't know about the Magic Castle, just go and Google it. It's a castle in America. Magicians go there. It's an amazing place. I haven't been there, but it's an amazing place. So go and Google, do a little bit of homework regarding the Magic Castle. Larry, just to end off in like a minute, tell us just where do you perform these days? What type of events can you do and how can people get hold of you?
Well, in these times, I do a lot of virtual events, some hybrid events. Some parties have started to come back into play, some live events. But I mainly do virtual events from my studio at home. And I've performed all over the world. So I could be in California tomorrow morning or India this afternoon, you know. And so it's pretty crazy. And I've done many corporate events and different organizations around the world. And that's mainly what I do. That's my main bread and butter is corporates and private events. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of learning work, a lot of education on the technology, you know, technology side of things. But we've gotten into it, and it's been a lot of great fun.
And how can people get hold of you? Facebook, your website?
Yeah, so they can go on to larrysoffer.com so that's my website. So it's Larry, like Larry King Live, and then Soffer is with a double F-E-R .com, and they can find me on Instagram, which is at Larry Soffer. Facebook is Larry Soffer. My Facebook fan page is The Magic of Larry Soffer. I'm also on LinkedIn under the same Larry Soffer or Larry Soffer.
I have a challenge for you, Larry Soffer.
Yes.
you read her mind now. Wouldn't it be cool if she can now actually read your mind? But I mean, that's not possible.
It would be super cool. I mean, I think we can make it
happen. It is possible.
It is possible. I can do my best to make it work.
Okay, I'm going to digest that now. We have a tradition. Can you please write in the book a little message there? And then, guys, so he is going to, or she's going to try and read his mind now. Our wonderful camera lady here. Obviously, this wasn't pre-planned, so I've got no idea what's going to happen now. I'm a little bit stressed out, but I mean, let's see what happens.
So Connie, for this next effect, this is actually a challenge to get you to read my mind.
All right.
So if that could happen, this would be out of this world, right?
That would be insane.
Yeah. So let's see if we can do this. Can you stand over here for me? So Connie, right now you're going to read my mind. I'm going to think of a 3-digit number, and I'm going to send that number from my mind into your mind, one number at a time. Each time I want you to go with the first number that comes into your head. Don't think about it too much. Just go with the first number each time.
Okay, cool.
You're going to give space for 3 numbers across,
and
write each number large. So if you wrote number 2, you'd write it like that, nice and big so the camera can see, all right?
Cool.
So I'm not saying I'm going to think of number 2, okay?
No problem.
All right, so you can take the pad, you can take the marker. I'm going to think of a 3-digit number, send that number from my mind into your mind, one number at a time. Each time go with the first number that comes into your mind, okay?
Cool.
Yeah, so you're just going to hold it like this so they can see. And I want you to just relax, okay?
Right.
And just look at me. I'm getting that you have a number in your head already. Can you just wipe that out of your mind for me, please?
Okay.
Very good. Just think blue sky, blue sky, blue sky.
Cool.
Excellent.
Cool.
Okay, good. Just keep your mind clear. I don't want you to see what I'm writing here. You couldn't see what I'm writing, right?
No, I cannot.
Okay, you closed your eyes. I see that. That's okay. You can keep your eyes open. I'm going to leave my marker over here, okay?
Cool.
So, Connie, none of my numbers are 0. Okay. There's no repetition of numbers like 111 or 222. And there's no sequence like 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6 or 5, 7, 9. So basically, this is a very random number and a very difficult number. And I've made it difficult, so if you get this wrong, it's totally cool, okay?
Cool, no problem.
But Connie, if you get this right,
All right.
this will be unbelievable.
Insane.
Yeah? So you're ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay, cool. Just relax your hand. Just look at me. Just relax. You look a little bit tense. I just want you to just relax. Just relax. And look at me. Here we go. Here comes the first number. Just listen to my thoughts. Keep your mind clear. What have you got? Write it down. Here comes the second number. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Go ahead. Here comes the last number. You seem pretty certain about this, Connie. Wait, you got 2 different numbers there, didn't you?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Do you want to listen again? Go for it. What have you got? So I have no idea what you got, but if your number matches mine in any way, like even if you got like 2 numbers out of 3,
Even if it's 2, it's fine.
this would be insane, right? I mean, I have no idea what you got, Connie. You can come stand over here, but if I got your number, I have no idea what you got, Connie, but my number was...
No.
Yes!
No,
481!
What?
Crazy!
Wow! Oh my word.
Most people get 2 numbers out of 3. You got all 3 numbers. You get to keep that. You get to take this home with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Everybody,
guys.
Connie.
Right, so this is the part where I pay tribute to magicians from the past and also from the present. But tonight, I would like to change it slightly. Tonight, I would like to pay tribute to all magicians who's currently performing, because sometimes when you go on stage, not all the tricks works out exactly as you planned. Magicians would know what I'm talking about. So hopefully, the trick I'm about to show to you guys, it actually works out the way I planned. So, over here I have a tin, or actually a tube, and can you guys guess what's inside the tube? Yes, Pringles. So I'm going to try and perform a little bit of magic with Pringles, and again, hopefully, this works out. So watch, here we go. As I cover the tin, and I snap my fingers, the tin actually changes into a can of Coke. I know, it's amazing, hey? Best magician ever. Thank you. Don't worry, I'll do it again. But this time, see if you guys can actually catch me out. I'm concentrating very hard now. So, we'll take the Coke tin, it goes on the table. I will cover the Coke tin, and if I snap my fingers, again, it changes into a can of Pringles, and the crowd goes wild. I can hear it, I can see it through your television screens. I know. So remember, guys, sometimes when a magician is on stage, everything doesn't always work out the way he plans. But I'm sure you guys really enjoyed this. I mean, this was very magical. So I can actually do it again if you guys really want to. Should I? Okay, fine, you convinced me. So, let's see if I can do this again, because I'm very sure that this trick should work. Because remember, I start off with one can of Pringles. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of It's a Kind of Magic, the show about magic and magical people. I'll see you guys next week. Keep in touch with me, www.amazingmagic.co.za, and always remember to keep the magic alive in your heart.